Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. They finally.
I want to hear your thoughts about this.
It's a pro fight.
So someone's getting knocked out.
You can say what you want about Jake Paul, but you got to give him a little bit of respect for dedicating himself to the craft.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm excited about it. I'm a little nervous about Mike getting in the ring again. So,
Gilbert, I don't know if you know this, but PJ used to train Ryan Garcia.
I'll never forget. Holding mitts with him was interesting. He's putting everything out there right now. I've seen him talk about fighting Earl Spence. Today, he's tweeting about fighting David Benavidez at 178.
I don't know about that, bro. Wild, dude.
Benavidez replied like, hey, send the contract. I'm like, okay, wow.
Ryan, don't do it. I forgot that Loma went to war for a year, bro. This is his first fight back. Yeah.
And then goes to war.
I'll go to war, guys. Yeah, you're Korean. You should be serving your country for 2 years.
I'm American, baby. USA! USA! USA!
Welcome back to the Casuals. We are a MMA and combat sports show hosted by very casual fans, but not today, guys. Not today. We've got Nick there, Blobfish, David, Blob Legs, me, Blob Belly, and we have a special guest who is not a casual. He's a master boxer in his own right, and also coach, and also like everything entrepreneur. Guys, we have Coach PJ in the house.
Hey, yo.
Come on. Every now and then we need somebody who actually knows what they're talking about.
Yeah.
We got to balance this out.
Yeah. You know, dude, how do you know David? Like, how is this relationship here? How do you know a Korean in sandals?
I love David, man. David, we go back, but it's only like 6 years,
yeah,
5 years ago since we started when we were training. I used to train the homie Bart back in the day.
Bart,
yeah. And then he passed me over to Dave. He was like, I'm getting these gains. These hands are getting right. I'm losing weight. I'm feeling in shape. Let me go ahead and just pass it off to Dave.
It's very hard to hit this guy. I would imagine.
We have sparred, yeah.
You sparred PJ? How did that go?
It's just light because we're just doing body and, just doing that stuff. I just couldn't hit him. So it is what it is.
Hey, PJ, does David go light?
I do go very light.
Interesting, because when we spar, he can go light.
Can go light when he's getting worked.
Yeah, when does he choose to?
Yeah, what does he choose to go light?
Okay, this guy over here, dude, you have nothing to say. I will always say this every time. Violent man. Violent man.
He's a violent gentleman.
His eyes glaze over and he just turned red. Very violent.
That's not a fair assessment.
No, but it was good times, man. Just like, first of all, like boxing training, it's so exhausting.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's so tiring. There's so many aspects to this game, and we're going to talk about the Lomachenko fight because I think this is a very good segue for it. We wanted to get your opinions about this fight because obviously, I had to watch this so many times because I just kept watching Kambosos' face get lit up, but I didn't know what hit him.
Hard to see.
Yeah, I just couldn't see what was going on. I just saw Kambosos' spirit just die every round. But I'm like, what is he getting hit with? Because I see the marks, but I couldn't see anything. So I had to keep watching and pausing. I'm like, oh, I didn't notice this shit. It was like a masterclass in just like footwork, positioning, control. What else? I mean, what was this shit? Like, I didn't expect him to spank him like this, though.
Yeah.
It was insane.
It was a spanking.
It was a shutout.
Shutout.
Like you said earlier.
Absolute shutout. When I watched it the first time through, I did give Kambosos the second round. I'm being nice. I'm a fair fan. I try not to be biased. But then when I watched it the second time, I said shutout. Absolute shutout from start to finish. And you are right. It was a masterclass.
He couldn't find him in there.
No. It was great timing, good technique, good speed, footwork. And one of the great things that you always see with Lomachenko is that he has all the tools in the box, man. He can fight inside, outside, mid-range.
Yeah.
He can go forward. He can go backward.
Hit you going backwards.
Yeah.
He can hit you pivoting, power pivoting.
And then slip all your punches afterwards and make it look like a boxing drill in a fight.
In a 12-round world championship fight.
Exactly.
He made the IBF lightweight champ look terrible. Well, he's not the champ now. It was a former. He's the former champ.
Ooh,
but
shots fired by PJ.
Lost the belt.
Former champ, you loser.
I'm saying Devin Haney took him from him, but hey, Devin Haney has also beat Lomachenko.
Yeah.
In air quotes, I say that.
Yeah.
But Loma just shows that there are levels to the game. All right. And he is one of the top at what he does. Even at 36, we're seeing right here in this, that one body shot, he's able to be up there with the top in the world, even at that age, which most people at 36 they're coming down off the mountain. They're getting ready for retirement.
And people were saying that about Loma when he lost to Devin Haney. People were already saying like, "Oh, dude,
He's old now.
He's looking like he's slowing down. What's going to happen to Loma?" And then you brought this up. We forgot that Loma went to war for a year, bro. This is his first fight back.
Yeah,
That is true.
Against a world champ.
so killed like 46 fucking Ukraine or the fucking Russians, and then
Friendly
came back.
fire.
Yeah, and then he came back.
What was your off-season conditioning? I don't know. Shooting a gun?
Great conditioning.
You know what I also like about Loma too is just, you know, during these like moments where you see other boxers, they'll take these moments where like, after the body shot where they're, you know, they'll showboat, they'll gloat a little bit. He goes, "No, I'm going to kill you." And then he was just in his corner staring at him, locked in.
Yeah.
There was no time for anything. And we were talking about this off camera too. Kambosos kept on trying to disengage by turning Loma. But the difference is that Loma, after you turned him, he was right there. He goes, you have no moment to rest.
Yeah.
This is not you're still in zone one. I'm going to crack you. And every time he turned, popped him with a jab.
Man.
For people listening, what is zone one?
Zone one is right here, dude.
Yeah. Face to face.
This is where both can get hit at any given time. But the difference between Kambosos and Loma is that Loma likes being there.
Yeah.
He could be anywhere. It doesn't matter. And I think that was the cool thing. I saw a lot of stuff that, you know, boxing coaches always tell us these fundamentals. You're either in or you're out. And he just did it every time.
Loma, showing that there's levels to the game. You can beat someone inside, outside. I mean, I think Loma could have hit him from the front row, maybe in the bleachers, because he's so skilled at what he does.
You go hot dog?
He was showing it, man. Like, there was nothing that Loma couldn't do inside this ring. And again, besides that body shot at the end, none of the shots were super malicious. He wasn't going for the KO. He's not like Tyson, you know. He was in there taking little pieces away from Kambosos, and round by round, punch by punch, and you see the smile right there. He knew at round 3, I got this in the bag. But he's 36. He don't got that knockout power he might have had in his late 20s. But it was a masterclass, and we're seeing again a mature, a seasoned, a war veteran Lomachenko, right? You know, his off-season training being in a war.
Like, that's
changes
wild.
perspective.
That changes life
Yeah, for real.
in a whole nother way.
real.
And that can humble you, but then also make you think, like, you know, let me take my time with this.
Yeah.
Put on a show. He put on a show.
He's so nice with it, bro. He has some of the most aesthetic boxing style in the game right now. Like, you show him to anyone that's not into boxing, they're like, "Oh, who the fuck is this guy?"
Right.
You can't. He's must see TV, man.
And I think to a lot of people that might have even seen that, some, you know, not so big boxing fans watching that might have been like, you know, this is cool, but I'm not seeing the big flashy knockouts. I'm not seeing the things that are making headlines. But to boxing fans, this was a masterclass. This was skill on skill on skill, with timing, with technique, with a lot of what Lomachenko was able to do. I took away, like, this is huge. To make someone not move forward by just moving your head, moving your hand, by fainting.
You know how many times he just walked him down without even throwing a punch?
Yeah.
And Kambosos is just moving back against the ropes, like kind of freaking out.
All in the head.
He's so stressful. Watching, I would imagine if you had to box and spar against this guy, you would have panic attacks every time he would jump at you.
You'd have to think a lot more. And then if you're making your opponent think more than they're moving, you're already winning the game.
Right, well, what I just talked about. Every time a boxer thinks that they're turning and they're away from him, he's right there.
And he's got his hand on you.
Yeah, he has
Ready
he's
to
like
hit you.
literally a step ahead of everybody.
So how is he doing that though? Because you would think, like, you know, the average person watching, like, oh, can he? Other people just copy that style?
Well,
why is he so specific only to him?
If you just like what David was saying is like his positioning is just. He's just always on you.
It's my homie Sosa. Oh, man, I remember this one.
And he's just always touching you, too.
This one was bad.
This was bad. I felt bad for Jason at the time, man. He was the homie.
And he was
trained in
taunting him,
Jersey.
too?
Yeah, he had that was one of the belts that he got. He was, "Give me my belt." I remember that. I was like, dang.
I remember this one because he had the fire sword.
Yeah.
LA.
That's when he put himself in the corner and was like, come fight me, bro.
That was his first world title. And I remember, like, the world was being intro to Lomachenko in a slow way. Like, everybody in the amateurs had known him for years. What was it, 396-1?
Yeah.
Wait, that's his record?
His record, was 396-1 loss. And then that one guy that beat him, he got a rematch. And Loma retired that dude.
Yeah.
He didn't fight after that again.
Yeah.
That just shows you how bad he can beat people.
I remember the Rigondeaux fight. Everybody was like, okay, Rigondeaux was like pound for pound, number 1 or 2 at the time. And he went out there and just smoked him.
Shutout again.
He made him quit on the stool, right? Everybody was freaking out, like, who the fuck is this guy coming out of nowhere, beating pound for pound great?
This fight was so fucking nuts because, I mean, I think, when Loma moved up a weight class, the question was, is he still going to be no mas, right?
Yeah.
Because now it's just the power's different, and which it's true, it is different. It was a different game and a different switch, but I think people kind of wrote him off a little bit when he moved up the weight class because they're like, well, he's not going to be able to handle that heat, but you still got to touch him first.
Yeah.
You know,
That's the sport, man. It's hit and not get hit, and Lomachenko is a master at it. He does it in all kinds of ways, and even as we're seeing some of these old fights, like this is vintage Lomachenko, just 5-6 years ago, when he was making people quit on their stools, like elite fighters. And that's one of the cool things, that Lomachenko has fought some of the best in the world. The talent that he has faced in his professional career, not a lot of guys have fought multiple world champions like him.
Especially in the first 10 fights.
Yeah.
He had a killer's row in the first 5.
His first fight was for a world title, and he ended up, losing. It was a interesting fight where
It was the headbutt fight, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
guy
Like
kept
Salido or
low-blowing.
something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Salido
yeah.
low-blowed him a lot. To start off with that as a very highly touted amateur, gold Olympic, we were expecting him to come out and just win every single fight, and he's man,
he broke his hand on that one too.
when you just see Lomachenko, sometimes you don't got words, because to your point, people can see it like, oh, why can't I do that?
Yes, I'm actually curious. Like,
That his footwork is impeccable, his timing.
Yeah.
And one of the things that if you watch Lomachenko train, he doesn't train like the average fighter. He takes a lot more in-depth things to using his brain, puzzles, balance, things that might be unconventional in the typical boxing setting, he does consistently and regularly. Yeah, we'll see the ladder drills and the footwork drills that help him move in, move out. But again, most of what he's doing is checkers and chess in the head. He's making his opponents think, and then he's taking advantage of them when they are least expecting it.
Even that Teofimo fight, right? If he had just done, it was the last 4 rounds was classic Lomachenko. It was just, he started so late.
Yeah.
And then Teofimo had no answers for him in those last 4 rounds.
Dude.
None.
He had no answers.
And I was like, please do something.
Yeah.
But that's when I guess he injured his shoulder or something.
Yeah,
He went straight to surgery right after
surgery
that.
afterwards. We've seen him do incredible things. And what we saw in Kambosos, again, was, I think, him displaying his dominance as one of the best fighters in the world. Now, again, he's not the flashy knockdown guy. He's not out here selling fights like Conor McGregor or Tyson Fury. But when it comes to what you do inside that squared circle, he's doing his thing. And he's something that I think a lot of kids should look up to, as somebody that does more talking with their hands than he does with his mouth.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Then goes to war. We should all go to
And then goes to war.
I'll go to war,
Country
guys.
goes to
Yeah, you're Korean.
war.
You should be serving your country for 2 years.
I'm American, baby. USA. All the time, dude.
All the
time.
24/7. Not
It goes
going
on
to
all day. When everybody look, this is like that size conversation that came into this too, where everybody keeps talking about it. They're like,
That guy's big.
too big for Lomachenko.
Tommy was a much bigger fighter. He
walked
and
the ball
a lot
over
of
him.
people thought that he would take him out in that regard. But Lomachenko, again, he's a smaller fighter.
Yeah.
And for his size, you would think maybe some bigger guys might intimidate him or keep him off with the jab cross. His footwork, his head
Oh my
movement, and his
God.
ability to get inside mitigates a lot of people's power. And he can get right inside, work. He can be outside and work, and anywhere in between. And that's the great part of what we're seeing in his career right now, is him displaying absolute dominance in small ways. And again, I had him beating Devin Haney.
Yeah.
I think he took his foot off the gas in a couple of those rounds, right when he was at that point of breaking him down here in around 5, 6, and 7. But at the end of the day, it's only what the judges say that matters. And
I mean, I'm pretty sure Devin Haney had himself losing too. So it's like,
well, we each other's their faces after the fight. That'll tell you a little bit. But Loma was touched up.
Yeah.
He was a little emotional about that as well.
Devin Haney landed some big, great shots on him too.
look at the size difference too.
Haney landed some shots to the body, and I think that's what Kambosos definitely took to the bank when he studied a game plan to try to take out Loma. It just, it's one thing to make a game plan. It's another thing when you got to go execute it, and especially when you can't hit the person that you're trying to hit.
Yeah.
That's what we saw a lot of that.
Hey, speaking of Devin Haney, and Gilbert, I don't know if you know this, but PJ used to train Ryan Garcia.
Oh, really?
What'd you think about that
You
fight?
teach him how to sing during face-off?
And teach him how to do that, guys. And you're hyping that up just a little bit, my guy. I got to hold mitts with Ryan. It was an awesome
Right, 10
opportunity.
goose,
Whatever, dude.
This was like, man, back in like 2018. I used to do YouTube videos with my main man Shane Faison.
Shane Faison.
Shane.
Shout out Shane.
Shane.
Big deal. And yeah, Ryan just was. It was still him up and coming. He wasn't at the top where he's at today, but he still had the talent. And he was still in a great place where his career was ahead of him. We did some videos, we chatted a little bit, got to hold mitts with the homie. It was a really incredible time. And I'll never forget, holding mitts with him was interesting because his speed was really on point. I was like, 19-year-old kid, you can go.
Yeah.
You can
jab,
move.
dude.
It's ridiculous,
It was
right?
ridiculous. And the videos on Instagram or YouTube, whatever, like he can swing and he still has that type of speed. I was so impressed with it.
He
And
kind of looks a little faster these days.
he does look fast.
I don't know if that's just me. Yeah.
more mature now.
A little stronger, you know?
Stronger for sure.
He's growing. I mean, when I got to train with him for a minute, like he was a young teenager.
Yeah.
Now he's a man. He's in his 20s.
Yeah.
He's accomplished, I think, all that most people would want to in a boxing career. Make millions, become famous, get some wins.
Best friends with Oscar De La Hoya.
I mean, I don't know about him and De La Hoya. But,
What is yeah? I guess we didn't get your take last time, or I'm curious about you. What did you guys think about the fight in general with Haney and Garcia? Like the antics, the post fight, like all of it, the PED accusations. Haney now trying to turn the fight over. What do you make of the craziness of it all?
I mean, for me, like this was an unpopular opinion that I had that I think a lot of people didn't agree with. But I don't like fighters who miss weight. I think it's incredibly unprofessional,
Okay.
and a 3-pound advantage is a lot.
If you just like, I like when people
it's
miss
a
weight.
lot. You're right.
It's a lot,
right.
Especially because Ryan Garcia is already a bigger fighter. But then at the same time, like I understand it was like a super fight, right? For these two to match up. It's hard for Ryan Garcia to get to that weight, and he just kind of he's like, "Fuck it, I'm not going to do it."
Did you hear what Floyd Mayweather said?
Uh-huh.
He's like, I told him to miss weight.
Floyd just
And Ryan Garcia said it too. Yeah, no, absolutely, because it is like going into that fight, you could see clearly, like whether it's true or not, because we could only take his word for it. He's saying it was all premeditated, all the antics, but him missing weight, like that's a crazy play. And if Floyd Mayweather's like, I told him,
It was smart,
Because look what happened at the Tank Davis fight, right? He was drained. He was so drained
skinny, dude.
with the hydration clause and everything.
which is so crazy.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
That's insane.
You can do a lot in boxing.
Yeah.
Don't know.
If you got the leverage, if you're A side, you could pull some strings, man.
I love how you say that you're a casual fan, my guy. Dave, I got to tell you, brother, you are an elite level boxing fan because you're not 3.5 pounds. You're like that is a lot. Most people be like 3 pounds, like that's nothing. I could have sweat that out. In boxing, inches matter, pounds matter, and that 3.5 pound advantage, Ryan didn't have to suck himself dry and literally sweat everything out. Haney did.
Those last 3 pounds is like the hardest.
You know what it is.
That shit sucks, dude.
cutting weight
It's awful.
sucks.
And you never feel good, like afterwards. So it is interesting to see, like, did he lose something by cutting those extra pounds for Devin Haney's side? Who knows? But like that power advantage looked crazy.
Wait, why did you make a face when David said 3 pounds?
Well, because 3 pounds does matter. Now, here's the point. I agree with you
Go, PJ,
about
fight him,
if you're
go.
a fighter, you should be disciplined. Coming down to that 140-pound weight division limit means you would have won a world title. You would have been a world champion if you had just done that, been a little more disciplined, more focused. But if you look at it on the other side, this kid knew it was going to be $500,000 for every pound. All right, $1.5 million.
Bet on himself.
I'm making 50 million. Let me think. Could I have some sort of advantage? Could I be hydrated? Could I feel better fight night if I just have these 3 pounds? Is it worth this money? Yeah. I think he weighed the pros and the cons and went, all right, advantage, I'll pay that clearly.
Yep.
And it worked because what we saw, in my estimation, was dominance in those knockdowns. PEDs or not, Ryan whooped him.
Yeah.
You know,
He bullied him.
He bullied him, and the fight could have got stopped. I'll give Devin credit for, standing up, continuing to get back up and fight. But he did not have what he needed to beat Ryan Garcia that night.
Yeah.
So in my estimation, from what I saw, those 3 pounds mattered, and they mattered a lot.
Yeah.
Boxing boxing is a big game, and it matters in those weight divisions.
In that first round, when Devin Haney got rocked that hard, the check was already written. Like,
Yeah,
he was
for
rocked
real.
so hard.
You see how big his eyes were after that? Like he was shook. Like, and I would be too if I got hit with that shit. You know,
And it's just kind of hard for somebody. And this is time to give like credit to Floyd Mayweather, right? When you choose a style like. When you're Philly shelling, right? That's not an easy style to work with. There's a reason why most fighters don't do it. It's hard. It's vulnerable, right? And you just saw Devin Haney just kind of make that little mistake of just having it right here, And it's just perfect for that hook. And he just kept getting cracked by it. So it's like
over and over and over again.
I think like sometimes we kind of get enamored as like fight fans where we love somebody like Floyd Mayweather and we try to adapt these things. But when people get into training and you try doing it, you're like, oh, this is hard. This is not easy.
You got to be so disciplined if you can play that game, right?
Yeah, Floyd was the one that.
Oh my God, why is it so fast?
Yeah, dude. He didn't even see it coming.
understand.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it mostly is.
They
right?
threw the jab
It's
at
like,
the same time, but guess who's got there faster?
You don't even register.
Ryan's got speed. He's always had
that
it.
little look away. He just chucks it, bro. It's nice. It's so nice.
I think he got up a little too early in this fight, in this moment.
Yeah. Take a little
Garcia
time.
was too powerful, too fast for him. And again, I love Ryan. I hit him up before this fight and we were chatting a little bit. I thought he was going to win. I didn't think he would win like this.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had. Yeah. I had it maybe coming to a decision. Maybe I had it going to knockout. I did not think that he would get a 10-8 round multiple times and just dominate him. And again, Ryan does his thing. He does his thing social media-wise on the internet. You can say whatever you want to say about it. I didn't love the way he fought, but he did enough to win. I didn't like the turning and revealing the back. Like,
You didn't show him that?
I did not show him any of that. No, I will take no credit for teaching Ryan.
Butt block?
The last
shimmy
30
was PJ's
seconds, little
move.
shimmy. Yeah, you might have got that from me.
Oh, there's the PJ. There's the PJ. There's the PJ.
That's the PJ influence. Oh,
Learn that on FightCamp.
I didn't teach him that 5 years ago, but yeah, you can definitely train me on FightCamp, but I ain't going to be teaching these moves.
A whole video of PJ.
yeah.
just-
Sticking your tongue out. Go get me,
I
baby.
taught a workout this morning, and I thought about this. Should I do something fancy like this? No. This kid is special, and I
He
respect
is,
him
he
for
is.
betting on himself, for not listening to what the haters say, and everybody calling him crazy like this. He played the game smart.
He got my
You know
ass,
what he was
dude.
doing?
What a star, dude.
I thought he was
You know
nuts.
what he was doing?
His hook is so weird because it goes against everything that you're
watch it
taught in
again.
boxing, right? And he's definitely gifted because I feel like most people would tear out their rotator cuff the way he throws it. It's such a weird whip. And like,
Snaps it.
when I tried throwing a hook like he does, right, on a bag, it hurt my rotator cuff. I'm like, how the fuck is that not torn?
Man, listen, punchers are made. They're born, in my opinion, and you can't teach that type of speed. You can get a little faster, you can build some technique, but he's naturally gifted. This is a gift from God to be able to throw that fast and to be able to throw it accurate. Because he opens himself up really wide. And again, he was able to land that punch on Gervonta Davis in that first round, I believe, and had him kind of moving back. But Tank knows how to fight a little better than Devin Haney, in my opinion.
Dude, absolutely.
Again, I'm gonna say that right now.
He's got a little more sauce.
A little more sauce in there, but Ryan fought this fight well enough. Again, there were sloppy moments.
Oh.
He gave up his kidney a couple times, I think, when he was doing that Philly show and turning. But he did enough to shock the world and bet on himself and win $12 million. So that's
When he cracked him with that leaping hook, it just reminded me of Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah.
y'all must have forgot. Must have forgot how good it can be. And sometimes unconventional styles and fighters will end up being some of the best in the world.
Absolutely.
If you're going to teach someone, you're not going to teach them to drop their hands when they throw a hook. You're not going to teach them to move around like that, to lunge in and jump. But he was able to do enough to get Devin out of there. And them close shots inside, it was impressive to me. I'm excited to see him fight some more competition like this.
Yeah, who do you guys think is next? What's next for Ryan Garcia? What do you guys like out there?
I don't
He's
know.
putting everything out there right now. I've seen him talk about fighting Earl Spence.
Sean O'Malley.
That'd be a great
Today he's
fight.
tweeting about fighting David Benavidez at 178. I'm like,
That's so
178?
Yeah, I don't know about that, bro.
wild, dude.
I don't know.
I like it, though. I
Benavidez
like the shit.
replied like, "Hey, send the contract." I'm like, "Okay, wow, all right."
Ryan, don't do it. Ryan, don't do it.
Realistically, Ryan did look good at 140, even though that 3.5 pound advantage. I could see him fighting at 154, maybe going up. I want to see him I might want to see the rematch of him and Tank. I think he's a better fighter now, but also Tank's a better fighter.
I want to see that fight too.
I want
no
to see
hydration
him
clause.
out the
I want to
hydration
see. I
clause.
want to see him go toe to toe.
Tank do that? Would he go up in weight?
I think he said that he would.
Wow.
But I forgot at what weight class though. It'd be like 144 or some shit.
150 seems like a big because they fought at what 36.
36
with the hydration clause.
The hydration clause.
Yeah, so it's like, and I feel like even in that fight, Ryan's the bigger guy, obviously, right? So it's like, man, to imagine Tank at 145 or around there.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if he'll make that
Tank
jump.
even right now, he got a little chub on him at this weight class. So it's like he's definitely a lot. Look at the size difference.
Yeah. He's a big, tall guy, huh?
Guy's like 4'1", maybe. How tall is Tank?
4'3". I didn't say that, dude.
He's tiny as hell.
Why would you say that? Why would you say that so
Who said
loud?
that, man? Gil,
PJ,
Gil.
man.
Tank is one of the smaller guys, but he is one of the
Scary.
bigger stars in boxing.
No,
and I
absolutely.
think, in my opinion, estimation, he's the face of boxing. Like Canelo is on his way out the door, as great as he has been, and boxing needs stars, you know.
Yeah.
And Tank is one of those guys that can sell a fight, but then he can back it up inside the ring. He's got all the skills necessary, I think. And I would love to see him and Ryan fight again. That might be the biggest money fight. Who else could Ryan fight? I mean,
How do you feel about Sean O'Malley? In MMA.
I think Ryan Garcia's gonna die. This is what's gonna happen.
But he's still got that puncher's chance, man. Like
That's what I'm saying.
That speed
left hook?
is a crazy equalizer. That power.
Not with a teep kick to the gut. Though.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what
But
the
it's
shimmy's for.
no MMA for him. Let
you just
them
never
pop.
know, dude. You just puncher's chance is real. Like that's a real fucking thing.
Is it now cement that Terrence Crawford's gonna box Canelo?
Not yet.
He's
No, they're
scheduled
still
up with
talking.
Terrence Crawford.
Ismail or something like that.
Crawford does have a fight.
He's got a fight in August.
And I think
He's a great name.
The rematch clause is still technically out there with him and Spence, even though nobody wants to see that.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that.
I don't think anybody does.
Nobody wants to see that again.
Terrence
But
Crawford looks so good in that fight, man.
I think Crawford could fight Canelo if they go up. If they find a weight,
That'd be sick.
it would be. But you
That'd be
know,
incredible.
it's just what fans want to see.
Yeah.
Will it make sense money wise? Like I said, Canelo's on the way out. Does he want to fight somebody that has the skills like him, even though he's got the huge size advantage? Well, no, we'll see. But yeah, I mean, I know.
Look how skinny Ryan is here, dude. He's so drained.
Looks so frail.
You can see every rib in his back.
Yeah. Oh. But he still showed up, and he still did what he had to do to get into this fight.
Yeah.
Knowing that this was going to be the biggest test of his career. He did good. I mean, until the body shots came.
And dude, I feel like when you're that drained, those body shots are way more vicious than they should be. They just
They'll
go
even
through
more.
Yeah, you're just so exhausted and depleted right before the round even starts. And then you start hitting that battery over and over, you're pretty much done.
Yeah, and he came in with a rib injury.
Oh, that's right.
Alleged news, and yeah,
interesting.
You can say what you want about it. They made this fight happen, and they showed up. Yeah. Do I want to see this again? I think this will be a good fight.
That'd be great.
If there's no hydration clause and it comes in as even as it can be, people would buy this. I would watch this again.
This will be a huge fight.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited to see.
What does Rolly
Tank's
Romero
next
fit in
fight.
all this?
Nowhere. Nobody want to see Rolly fight. He lost his belt to Isaac Cruz, so
Isaac
Cruz
beat the shit out of him.
Ryan Garcia was talking about Isaac Cruz, but I think he's matched up too. Isaac Cruz, but I wonder how that
he's
fight
got a
would-
belt now, so he should have mandatories and be in that position to fight next. But we ain't gonna see Rolly at that top level no more. I don't think.
Yeah, I think the idea of him being the awkward boxer that people can't figure out, they figured it out. Yeah,
Just hit him. Just walk forward.
just
and hit
walk
him.
forward and hit him.
Hit him a few times.
Yeah,
He'll go down.
yeah, that was pretty nuts. I didn't expect, Pitbull to beat his ass like that fast.
That dude's a dog.
That was
though,
kind of
bro.
like a lot quicker
He's
than I
scary,
expected.
dude. Isaac, when I see that full fight, I'm like, I would not want to match up.
I mean, him and Tank was a fucking bar
Yeah,
butter, dude.
that
was
gave him a
great
good fight.
and he was a replacement too. That was a last.
Oh,
minute
that's right.
replacement. And then it ended up being the birth of a star.
Yeah.
We saw Tank have a not so easy fight.
Yep.
Which kind of, again, blossomed Isaac Cruz into this position where he's a world champion now. But if you saw that fight, I think the better fight was the main event. Fondora and
Oh, yes.
Tim Shu.
Yeah.
Blood war. I ain't never seen that much blood from
Yes.
both fighters ever. Ever. And it delivered. We saw a new champ at 154, And yeah, I think actually Ryan Garcia was talking about fighting him next. So
Really?
and that he's taller than me. I think he's like 6'3".
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan's fighting everyone, man.
Fedor's weird shaped. Like, he should not be at 150 something.
Doesn't make any sense at all. But styles make fights, and if it could happen, I'll pay for it. We'll see.
Hey, if Ryan Garcia gets in and he throws that liver shot at him, shit, that might be done right there.
Timber.
Yeah.
Speaking of styles make fights, what do you think? What is your just general thoughts on the Netflix fight of Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul? They finally
I want to hear your thoughts about it.
They announced that it is a pro fight.
Oh.
And they're going to be doing 14-ounce gloves.
It's a pro fight.
So someone's getting knocked out.
Potentially, knockouts are allowed to happen, that's part of the professional rules.
So
I don't know. It's weird. It's professional rules, but they're not rules. It's a 14-ounce gloves, 2-minute rounds as opposed to 3-minute rounds, which professional women fight at 2-minute rounds.
Yeah.
Usually, professional boxers are going to wear 10-ounce gloves. So having 14s, that's going to be helpful for Mike Tyson, obviously. And I love Uncle Mike. I've spent plenty of time with Uncle Mike. And
Really?
Mike, if you're watching this, I'm voting for you to win this fight. I'm voting for Mike to win this fight, y'all, because
it's on camera. You're good. Now tell us your real thoughts. We'll turn the cameras off. Hey, John, turn the cameras off.
Cameras off.
Go ahead, PJ.
Oh, listen, Jake Paul is 27 years old.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson is 57. He's dang near 75 years old, 80 years old. I'm conflicted in a lot of ways about this. All right, let's look at it from the first perspective. Old man fighting a young man in the prime of his career. Okay, that's just like no one's going to sanction this anywhere in the world. But somehow in Texas, they let it happen.
Let's do it, baby.
Hey, it's on Netflix. That's another big thing.
Yeah.
Why, do I have to get a membership again? Like I canceled it because I couldn't find anything interesting on.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to see my childhood icon fight a YouTube sensation.
Fight your favorite YouTuber? That's crazy.
It's not my favorite YouTuber.
Top five.
Top five favorite.
Right behind Davis. No, but you can say what you want about Jake Paul, but you got to give him a little bit of respect for dedicating himself to the craft.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He has made improvements. He has positioned himself with the team to get better. Now, is he an elite fighter in this world? Anybody with two eyes will tell you no. He is not the most talented fighter, but he can sell a fight. He can position himself to be in a place to fight one of the greatest boxers of all time on the first boxing match on Netflix ever. So yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm a little nervous about Mike getting in the ring again. I don't know if you saw that Roy Jones fight. Like, that, I didn't want to see two old dudes go at it. So I want to see Mike do this and shock the world and knock Jake Paul out.
That would be insane.
But I was talking to my boys at work, like, if you're Jake Paul, why would you not go all out to try to knock out Mike? Why would what do you lose?
Nothing.
In fact, I'm saying, if you lose to Mike, it's like, oh, he's Mike Tyson, of course. But if you win that, if you beat Mike Tyson, I mean, I'm gonna feel bad for him, but like, there's nothing but positive benefits, I think, from Jake Paul winning this. So realistically, right, it's a 2-minute round, which would benefit Mike. 14-ounce gloves benefit Mike.
Yeah.
So this seems like this is all set up so that Mike doesn't walk away with real serious injuries. Jake Paul might have some sort of clause where he can't knock him out, or it could be the other way. Maybe they wrote in the contract, hey, Mike, you can't knock Jake Paul out.
Yeah.
We need him to keep progressing. We need him to keep getting eyes on the sport and bringing in people that might not have ever watched boxing before watch it. So I have a lot of thoughts about it. How will it go down? You have to tune in to Netflix live on July 20th from AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas, baby.
Damn, you sponsored?
I am not sponsored.
That was a clean ad cut.
But Uncle Mike, I'm rooting for you.
It's interesting because, when people watch this footage of Mike, right, they go, dude, he's so sharp. He's just as fast when he was younger. He's not. He's not. I don't think, I mean, that kind of goes to the even more casual fan than I am. It's like, you need to go back and watch Tyson. This is like half the speed he was before. It's not even close. Right?
Nowhere close.
It's not.
No, it still looks. He looks great. He looks great.
Absolutely.
He looks awesome.
Yeah.
But this ain't vintage Iron Mike when he was some of the videos we see from Mike, he was like 15 years old and beating up grown men in the ring. Like, Mike's been fighting for dang near 45 years, and he looks great. But again, similar to the Lomachenko talk, like there's levels to it.
Yeah.
This ain't the same Mike from 5 years ago, let alone 10 years ago, let alone the last time he fought professionally 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that they are sanctioning him to fight a professional fight. So, like I said, I'm conflicted about it.
Yeah.
You know what was one of the worst sanctioned fights was Evander Holyfield.
And Vitor Belfort.
Bro,
Oh
what
my
the fuck
God.
was that?
I forgot about that.
First of all, Evander Holyfield looked physically amazing. But then when he was boxing, I'm like, who is this?
Yeah.
This is not a world champion there.
A shell of himself.
And somebody sanctioned this. I'm like, how could you allow this to happen? It's not
TRT Vitor too.
For reals. It doesn't make any sense. Like, look at old Tyson.
Yeah, he shakes his head.
Oh, he's not that mad. He's not that angry.
How you gonna hug me after
That was the fight was over. He knocked
Yeah.
him out.
Dink. Oof.
Listen, once you hit me so hard, I see my creator. Don't hug me.
Let me talk to God for a second.
I want you to go to the corner and leave me alone with my feelings.
See my creation.
yeah.
That was a good one. That was a good one. But this is not the same Mike. Now, Mike still has head movement. He can still move. He can still punch, but he's not. His reflexes aren't the same.
Oh, my
His chin
Lord.
definitely isn't the same. He has slowed down a little bit. I mean, grateful that Mike isn't drinking anymore. But Mike.
Oh! What if he does that to Jake though? What if he does that
Just
to
a walk
Jake?
off.
Mike,
Oh,
What if one shot lands first round?
God.
Game over.
please.
I don't think we're that lucky though, yo.
No, I don't
think
think
we're
so.
that lucky.
Knocked out his fucking 2 front teeth.
8 2-minute rounds.
The world is not that nice. I don't think.
I don't know.
So this is 10-ounce gloves, right?
No, these are going to be 14.
No, I mean like
Yeah,
oh,
these
yeah,
guys
no.
are-
these
Well,
10.
yeah, because these are heavyweight.
They look
Mike
like
were 10.
5-ounce gloves on these
They
guys,
are
but yeah.
tiny. They're tiny gloves.
I just don't know what to expect out of this fight. You know, like I could definitely see a world where Jake Paul is gonna knock out Mike Tyson.
I see that too.
Dude, if I see that, I think I'm gonna die a little inside. I'm gonna be
just don't wanna
really
see it.
sad.
I'll
Yeah,
cancel my Netflix subscription.
boycott
cancel
Netflix
again.
after that.
Honestly, as I see this seems to be just another path for Jake Paul to continue to progress, to get more views, to get more eyes on boxing,
Yeah.
to maybe do another big fight on Netflix here and there. Again, I don't love it. I'm going to tune in, no doubt. I talked to my boys the other day in the camp. I was trying to get tickets to go to this, but it's not going to work out. So I'm going to be watching at home.
Yeah.
But it seems as though the script is set for Jake Paul to win. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah, that's very true.
Like,
Especially because now, from what people have been sharing and what we've been seeing from his boxing fights, like I've just went back and I watched a few other ones before. There's like nobody in the seats. Like he's having trouble selling tickets because the freak show's over now.
Yeah.
Like we've seen it now. Like, you're fighting all these old retired fighters. We don't care. Like fight somebody new and somebody better. And so when he fought somebody like Tommy Fury, who albeit he's a pro,
Yeah.
he's not very good himself.
No.
You know, and he kind of got bullied by him. So I'm like, it shows that Jake Paul still has a long way to go. Obviously, he's still new to this sport.
Very new.
So, I agree with you. They're probably just using him as like the guy to get people to watch this a little more, because what we're seeing a lot now, and I think just because like what Dana White has done, people are tired of waiting for good fights to happen. They're tired of it. It's like boxing has over time has become this thing where it's just, you guys have to wait. Right, we want to protect our record as long as possible.
Yeah.
That's why I love boxers like Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant doesn't give a fuck.
he'll fight anybody.
You motherfucker!
Anywhere, all day.
His mentality is like, look, it doesn't matter. Like, what if I have a loss? I want to prove myself. Like, I want to fight the best of the best because I want to know if I could do it or not. So he has no problem fighting anybody, anywhere, at any given time. And I think that's how most boxers should. Fuck your record, dude.
Yeah.
Fight. Let's see if you're the best. Just make it happen.
That's how it was back in the day, man.
Yeah.
Back in the heydays of boxing, anybody would fight anybody. And being a world champion meant something.
Yes.
Today, and it's like, you saw what Ryan did. Like, I don't care about being a world champion. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And again,
Money fights, yeah.
to some people, they aspire to be the best, to be an inspiration. Today, because we're in this 4-belt system, like, there's not just one world champion. There's 4 world champions all in the same division. So it's like, make that make sense of me. How can I reconcile that I'm going to aspire to be the champion of the world, but there's 3 other dudes that are sharing my stage? Like, no. Like, today, it's different. And there's a lot of different implications with these companies that are trying to sell. It's about money. It's what the big thing. And that's what it comes back to. It's prize fighting.
Do you think there's a world where if boxing, I don't know if this would ever happen, would took the UFC approach, say, and Dana White even started another promotion, do you think that would solve the issue with these 4 belts, people not really knowing what to watch, when to watch? is that, do you think that model works, or do they just have to go back to the old days, just get honest promoters?
I don't know. Honestly, I think we have something coming up where we're doing like a Matchroom PBC crossover fight where Deontay Wilder is fighting Zhang. There's a couple other
Fighting
fights.
Zhang?
Yeah, so we are going to see something like that. They're trying to make these lines cross where it's like, oh, you're a top rank. Well, you can fight a Golden Boy fighter now, where these lines are blurred, and it's just about the fighters. It's not about the promotion. It's not about who's going to be paying what. It's about the pride of the sport. So I agree. We could see something like that in the future.
And you know, I'll be honest with you, the person I blame this the most on is fucking Mayweather. I blame it on this motherfucker, dude. Well, because when people have this conversation with like Mayweather, and Mayweather obviously being a high-level narcissist, and you know, a lot of great people are high-level narcissists, you know, people always question his greatness, right? I'll never question it because I like defensively, he is the best defensive boxer in boxing history, hands down, from my opinion, right? Just from what I've seen. Now, you know, when people bring up a conversation with him being the greatest of all time, it's hard to say because he pick and chose a lot of his fights. And so there's a conversation that people have with him against like Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard was undefeated till about 72 fights, 70-something fights. So it's like, okay, so you have your perfect record of 50, but Sugar Ray was perfect till he was in the 70s. So it's like, how do we compare these things? He also continued, I think, until like 100-something fights. So does Mayweather get to hold that title because I never lost and I fought champions all the time, but you hand selected every single one of your fights? And I think this is where that conversation comes in. Is like where the downfall of boxing became, where everybody started like handpicking everything. It's like, we just want to see you fight the best.
We all want to be like Mayweather.
Yeah. You'll still get the check, but the thing is, it's like as fans, we're going to get more and we're going to want more, because look what happens when other fighting leagues come in and they don't give a fuck about that. They started slowly shifting. UFC grew because of that exponentially, and then boxing started going like this. So it's like, unless you start making this model change where you're allowing people to fight more and you're saying, fuck the record, if you have 2, 3, 4, 5 losses, it's about who you lost to. Like, what were these fights about? Who were you fucking fighting? If you lost to bums and nobodies, yeah, it's a blemish on your record. But when you're fighting champions, like you said earlier, styles make fights. Let's just see whose style's going to win. And I'm just waiting for this to happen all the time.
I do feel like it's changing in the past, like, 3 years or so.
I think UFC put a fire on
it. Because the market had to dictate it, right? It's like, I'm sure they're selling out these fights where they'll get Ryan Garcia or say a big name fighting the blue corner, and it's like maybe a guy you never really heard before, and you're like, oh, okay. But now you're starting to hear, when I found out that Tank was going to fight Ryan Garcia, I was like, oh shit, really? I was like, no way. I had to look it up to make sure it was fucking real, because, you know, it's like that wasn't the sentiment in boxing initially, but now it's starting to change where you're seeing these top guys fight each other. So I think it's heading in the right direction.
I hope so too.
I think so as well. I think if you think about these fighters, there's like camps here. We got the De La Hoya with Golden Boy, Bob Arum, Top Rank, Eddie Hearn, there's Lou DiBello. These pillars of boxing stables, like, they want to protect their own. And I think we're in this real era since Floyd where it's like, if you have an O, you don't matter anymore. And it's people are trying to protect the record, and that's what all that matters to them. But by doing that, you're not giving the fans the best fights. We're waiting until you're 38 years old to get this fight. Like, think about Pacquiao and Mayweather. Like, that should have happened 10 years before it happened. I'm grateful that it did. I'm glad it happened when it happened, but it wasn't the fight that we wanted to see.
Yeah, because that's what everyone said right after the fight. I wish this happened 5 years ago. Right? That's what everyone said.
Right after Ricky Haddon, just make that shit happen.
Super funny story, by the way, because Manny Pacquiao is one of my favorite fighters of all time.
Hey, what's up, man? Filipinos, let's go.
I got a Filipino son, but
oh, hey, let's go again.
Manny Pacquiao invited me to his my first Filipino party. It was actually at his house.
Oh, dude.
Who gets to fucking say that? My first Filipino party is with Manny Pacquiao.
Fucking sweet.
It was when he lived.
You had the whole lechon pig and everything, huh?
Those guys party, huh?
It was a Bible study. Let's be clear. So yeah, before
Party,
it was
bro.
it was a party. We were partying for the Lord. Yeah, but it was before he fought Keith Thurman. He invited a bunch of people over to his crib, and it was just an incredible atmosphere to be there with them before the champ was getting ready to go to Vegas to go do his thing, and I was blown away at the time. Because I was still young. I was like right around the time I was training you, actually.
Oh, wow.
I got invited, and I was like, this is the coolest thing in my life right now. I'm just hanging out in Manny's living room. All of a sudden, I take my phone out. I'm taking selfies. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be that guy, man. I'm taking a selfie in your.
Yeah,
I met his grandmom and everything.
Wow.
Yeah, Lola.
Damn.
Yeah.
Everybody remember Lola from that one fight where she was praying and
Yeah.
With the holy water.
everybody remembers Manny Pacquiao's Lola, man. It was great. But yeah, random fact about that, because that was an incredible moment, being around a great fighter and getting ready to go win. Like, nobody thought he was going to beat Keith Thurman, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, Keith Thurman said that he was going to retire Manny, and then it was the other
other
way
way
around.
What happened?
Crazy.
The way around.
Because I think he was like, coming off a layoff too, right? He was like out for a little bit, and then he came back and then just pieced him up, and everybody was like,
I would just
can't
keep
believe
staring at his calves the whole
Bro.
time. What are those?
trying to touch him.
Yeah, can I touch those things, please? Please.
Please.
Show me your
wow.
calves.
Can I taste a bite?
Can I taste a bite, please? Are these from Cebu?
Great food, great hospitality. Oh, man, the lumpia was incredible. Never forget, bro. Never forget.
Dude, crazy.
He still wants to fight.
I think he still,
is fighting.
He is still
right?
fighting. Yeah.
He is still fighting.
He's trying to fight Conor McGregor.
He's going to be a president one day, real soon.
Oh, he beat up my Korean hero DKU.
Oh yeah, dude. He beat the brakes off him, huh?
Yo, I was-
Exhibition.
I can't believe that fight even happened.
yo, one of the funniest things that you guys will ever see is DKU landed one shot.
Who is that though? Is he a gamer?
He does. Who is that?
Explain to the
That's
world
the best
who he
question.
is.
That's the best answer.
DKU blew up because he has a semblance of Bruce Lee. He's very, very
quick, dude.
fast, right? So he teaches like special forces Korean people how to like
I see.
defend
Got
themselves
it.
and fight. and
He's the
stuff.
Korean dust guy. Dude.
Yeah. So look,
Got it.
You'll see some of his stuff. He's very fast. He could probably beat up the average everyday layman, right?
Definitely.
But you're in a ring with fucking Manny Pacquiao.
Trying to box with Manny Pacquiao, dude.
Why did I watch this?
He
Manny was going so easy on him, too.
was going so easy.
It was like it wasn't even a sparring session for Manny. He was just like, this is just me playing nice with a guy. Just
Look
being
how nice he is.
He's laughing the whole time.
See how Manny's nice? You know who's not nice? Is when Floyd fought fucking Tenchi, or was it the
Tenshin Nasukawa?
Oh my
That was
God.
like a work though. That seemed like
That wasn't
a bit of a
nice.
work,
Little
dude.
mafia thing going
To
on.
make a point.
Yeah,
To make
yeah.
a point.
Look at him praying to Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry, Pacquiao.
Praying to Jesus, say, hey, save
was
me,
not
please.
nice, that one.
It's a hurt of so much.
What happens in your mind when you're getting punched by Manny Pacquiao in the corner like 10 times?
And Manny's throwing light punches, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
He's not doing the classic double jab, bomb.
Yeah,
you know,
he's a sweet, sweet boy, dude.
look how he pulled that. You see him pull that body.
He's throwing to the body.
Oh, okay.
Please, please,
DKU?
don't do this.
Okay.
Don't do this.
He made it a show.
He made it a
look,
show.
Boxing's entertainment, man. People showed up to watch this, too. Like, people pay good money to
Oh gosh.
Look how nice he is.
David thought DKU was going to win.
Somebody definitely
I
thought that. Someone
didn't tell you
believed
that.
in
No, I
their
didn't.
heart of hearts that Manny was going to lose this 6 round.
Yeah, David did. David
DKU
did.
made me laugh so hard because
Look,
on
back
his
of the
channel
head.
for like a whole month, he just kept reposting this one punching on him over and over and
Guys,
over.
all these programs. dog. This is good marketing.
I get it.
okay?
But dude, this is so bad.
the highlight of his career.
Bro, if I landed one punch on Manny Pacquiao,
I would
That's all I'm
bet
talking
I'm
about.
fucking replaying
Yeah.
that, boy.
100%.
Yeah. That's
why
my
would you
wallpaper on all my laptops.
But just to like, I do want to. I want to ask your opinion on this too, right? And I just because I only learned this over time was just how important conditioning is, and I just never realized like how much cardio you need to box.
Yeah.
Because I think when people watch it, they go, "Oh, it's 3 minutes." It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
What do you mean, just 3 minutes? Like,
Just 3 minutes. And then you try it, and then you go, I'm done. I don't want to do this ever again.
Yeah, this,
You know?
one round, I'm done.
Bro, I do rounds on a bag and I'm exhausted after one round of 3 minutes.
Yeah.
It's-
Imagine if someone's trying to
You
punch
got to
you
come
for
train
3
with me,
minutes,
man.
dude.
I got to get you training on FightCamp, brother. It is.
Oh my God, is FightCamp our sponsor for this?
put a fight camp bag right
Put a
there.
fight camp right
on
here.
the back.
Hey, call corporate. Let's make this happen.
We will make this happen.
Let's go.
We will give away a fight camp
Oh,
to
let's do
one lucky viewer.
let's
figure
go.
it out logistics wise.
No jokes wise though, right? Because I got a fight camp thing. We did a little thing with them. Fight camp for a standing bag is probably the best standing bag I've ever.
It's a great
used.
bag.
It's very sturdy,
It's durable, dude.
right? And I would just wing on this thing, and it
You
wouldn't
be
fall.
winging on it, bro.
Yeah, it got destroyed. It's done.
Every time I saw your video, it's just fun.
Slowly going further and
That's
further.
where you tore your oblique on that. Right?
Yes, I did, because I just saw that
You
one.
just went too ham.
I just went too ham on it. But it was my favorite bag. I literally obliterated that thing. And I went ham on it for almost like, 2 years straight. And it was great. And I'm pretty sure nobody's like throwing hammers on it like that.
For an hour.
It's the best at-home boxing heavy bag you can have. And we've done a lot of the tests on it. We've compared all the heavy bags you can get in the world. And there's nothing better than it. I mean, again, when you fill it up at the base, you put 400 pounds of sand in that. That ain't going nowhere.
Yep. Yeah.
It ain't going nowhere. And then you can work on that conditioning and build up, because boxing is a full body sport. It is, 3 minutes. You're like, oh, I can do that. And then you go throw your first punch and you realize, wait, my shoulders are hurting, my hips are hurting, my chest is burning.
Yeah.
So it's important for you to maintain your cardio, and there's no better way to do that than to train, right? I love telling people just start training, figure it out, and you'll figure out where you need to go from there. But boxing, it requires your whole cardio. You got to be focused from your feet all the way to the top of your head. And it's something that I think that they're doing it now for 15 years. I'm still learning, I'm still growing, I'm still finding ways to get more conditioning, get better. And the great part about it, it's a journey. You can experience boxing by just learning one thing at a time, and there's an endless amount of opportunities that you can grow in. So you can take Lomachenko,
Holy
get
shit.
some countering, get some.
Editor, put some motivational music under this.
Put some motivation here. Boxing is a lifetime journey.
Come on, baby.
But you got to start somewhere, baby. And then once you get punched in the mouth, you'll find out, I got to train a little harder.
Or it's like, maybe I'll just hit a bag.
Maybe I should fight anybody.
It's the best reality check you can get, dude.
Not everybody's going to be a fighter. Not everybody's going to get in the ring and punch. But I'll tell you what, every single person in life is a fighter in some regard.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You know what I think was like the shocking thing that I found out was that I would see people in the gym, they're very good at the bag. And when they would start sparring, I'm like, who is this? Like, you suck. It's like
There's two different things. We all see people in the gym that can look good on camera or look good on mitts. But then when they actually got to put it together and somebody's coming back at them, it's a whole different game. There's levels to this. And with boxing, it requires you to think, to move, to react.
Oh.
That's the cool part about the sport, which I really love. It's not just, my game plan is I'm going to go forward with a 1-2. It's, I need to go forward, and now I have to react as this two's coming at me. I have to slip out to the side. I got to move. I'm still getting hit. I'm breathing, but I'm also still trying to listen to what my coach is saying at the same time, not being distracted by what's happening all around. So boxing is a tough sport. It's not for everybody to get in the ring, but I certainly believe that boxing can be for everybody. You can train at home, you can work on the bag, and then you can find out for yourself whether you got what it takes to inspire that fighter within.
That's only done with fight
Write
camp.
that down somewhere, dude.
No,
Only done with
Nick,
fight camp.
now you do it.
Now, Nick, do your
Now you do
because
your
you've been
thing.
training us.
Just
Jiu-jitsu version. Jiu-jitsu version.
He's like,
let's go.
Hi, my name is Nick Dong, and fighting is so hot. It's so hot.
I don't have an accent.
Yeah,
man.
you do. Show your real accent.
I don't have an accent, dude.
Sometime I cry. Sometime I don't.
All right, Dave, you're supposed to back me up.
All right, here we go.
All right, PJ, your Asian accent. Go ahead. All right, go do your
will
Chinglish
not.
accent, dude.
Make sure you buy a fight camp today.
That's a fight for everyone.
This is great. Great, guys.
Sweating.
My wife is Asian. She would murder me.
Bro, I think you have a pass. I think you have
You
a
got the
pass.
Asian pass,
You have a
dog.
Filipino child.
You're a Filipino.
You could do at least a Filipino accent, I think.
I do not play that game. I will
Not even a little bit.
I like this.
I
Good man.
know, but
Not
even
even-
being at Manny's house, I was kind of like,
Oh, shit.
You won't say Pamela or anything like that?
oh, no,
Family.
no.
Get into an argument with your wife. Did you forget to do the dishes?
Dad, why are you talking like that, Dad?
Just try it out today when you go home and see what happens.
See what happens. Dude. See if it feels natural.
Just let us know.
If I like it, I'll post it on my Instagram.
If I like
Yeah,
it.
if I like
POV
it,
cam, dude.
Nick's trying to get out of this, though. Jiu-jitsu speech right now.
do it.
You know, jiu-jitsu is really hard, and if you train hard enough and long enough,
There
you'll
we
get
go.
ears like mine.
There you
so
go.
don't do it. Just
Trophy.
give up, dude.
It's a trophy right there.
Don't fucking train.
Now do it with a Chinese accent.
You should not train. Train.
Guys, let's end the show not on racism, but let's end it on. We'll do a quick pick of the
might be.
Fury USYK. We'll do a little analysis, but then also let's watch. If everyone puts their headphones on, let's watch this clip. He headbutted a kid in the heat of the moment, and he says he's a real fighter.
A child?
And this is what he has to say.
Testosterone! Tyson, knock him out before the final bell. Let him talk. We've got the antidote to everybody in the world. Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King, is the best heavyweight in the world by a country mile. This is the run out now, but so you'll see. you'll see on Saturday night. Enjoy. Get to Saudi Arabia and enjoy the business.
All right, so
fun time.
do you guys think? Okay, well, here's a photo of him headbutting.
He's partying with Ryan Garcia, that's for sure. The hell was that?
Is this a distraction to Tyson Fury? He's like, it's my fucking dad. What do you think?
that's just his dad.
I think he does that every fight, though.
Yeah,
every fight. There's a clip of John Fury being a wild, wild boy.
Yeah.
They sell the fights well.
Yeah, they know what
sell-
they're doing.
They know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, this is part of the game.
I want to hear your take because I'll go in a little lengthy about this one because this is going to be a big fight.
You know, okay. Usyk's good.
Usyk's really good.
Usyk's really good.
Usyk's undefeated good.
He's really, really good, especially because, like, I think, like, when people watch this, they go, oh, you know, the smaller fighter against somebody as long and lengthy as Tyson. But that's who Usyk likes to fight, though. That's it kind of lends towards what he's really good at. You know, Tyson, though, he looks a little different for this fight. I think he has a little heat on him.
A little chip on his shoulder, maybe.
He's got a chip on his
He
shoulder.
has a
for sure.
six-pack. So I'm like, I think
That changes things a little bit.
I think that after the little spanking he got from Ngannou, he's like, okay, I got to take this a little more serious.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a different fight. And as of right now, even though he walked away with that W, in everybody's mind, they're like, you lost against to Ngannou. And
Because
it's
he got down. Because everybody sees the picture of him on the ground against this guy who was a UFC heavyweight champ, but this is his first pro fight. So there had to have been some sort of humbling mentally, even though, again, he was able to control the distance, use the jab, and outpoint Ngannou and win that fight. What was the vision that everyone saw was him on the canvas. He got knocked down by him. And who was in the audience watching? Alexander Usyk. So there might have been some, in my estimation of it, he could have been, slacking a little bit just to not give Usyk any sort of, this is what he's going to do. But yeah, Fury looks like he's in the best shape. And now if you look back at this fight too, this was supposed to happen a couple months back. A cut happened, which means they had to postpone the fight. And Usyk would have been ready. So then coaching-wise, you have to either pause training and restart the camp again or just kind of keep pushing through. This is going to be an incredible fight between two undefeated heavyweight champions. Yes, Tyson Fury did have the draw against Deontay Wilder, but he's never lost professionally. He is going to be the bigger man, but this is going to be an incredible fight, in my opinion. They always know how to put a good show on out in Saudi Arabia, and I'm going to be interesting to watch this at like 4 in the afternoon or whatever time we're watching it on Saturday.
Yeah, not 7 a.m. maybe.
But Tyson Fury can bang with any of them. He knows how to sell a fight, but when it comes to talking with the hands, he handles business. Yeah. He's able to use his footwork and box on the outside like he did masterfully against Vladimir Klitschko. He was able to walk forward and take out Deontay Wilder, one of the hardest hitting heavyweights of all time. This promo that they did was, I think, one of the best promos I've ever seen ever.
$3 million.
Wow.
And I think originally it had like 200,000 views, though, which made me sad.
which was so sad.
So sad. This cost what? $3 million.
Yeah.
Makes sense. It makes sense. It's really, really well done. But in the ring, I'm looking to see a battle. I think that Tyson Fury is going to box. He might use his dominance. But Usyk knows how to win fights, man. Yeah. He has everything, I think. He has been hit to the body and hurt, but he's been a champion through and through and has never lost.
What is Tyson Fury's path to victory, and what is Usyk's path to victory?
From what I've seen, again, and what Fury being in the best shape of his life right now, he's not, I mean, he could come over 300 pounds, but it looks like he's going to be maybe 260, 270. So I think he's going to use his jab. He's going to try his best to box on the outside. He's fighting a southpaw, so realistically, I think Fury's going to be in the game and use his jab, keep him on the outside, and make Usyk have to think and not give him opportunities to counter. Usyk, in my opinion, might have better footwork, at least on paper, but Fury can move for a big boy. So Usyk, I think, is going to do a lot of countering. He's going to get inside, and it's going to be a war. This is really a fight that I've looked at from both sides. I can't pick. I got a toss-up on this.
Wow.
I want to lean in and say Fury just because of, I think, the talent that Fury has fought will be a little higher than Usyk. But I've never seen Usyk, except for that one low blow that might have been counted as a body shot that might have been counted as a low blow. I've never seen him losing any rounds. I've seen Fury get knocked down by Francis Ngannou. Yeah. So realistically, it's a toss-up for me, but I think Fury has something to prove.
Yeah.
after that Ngannou fight, and I think he's going to try to take it out and become the first undisputed heavyweight champion since Lennox Lewis.
I think,
yeah, that's the big thing, right?
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
We're going to have one.
That's insane.
Finally.
One heavyweight champion. Not 4, not 3, but one.
My biggest concern for Tyson Fury is just like, because Usyk does such a good job of getting in on the inside. If Tyson gets pushed up into the corner and he starts playing and he starts, Philly shelling up like this, that's perfect for a small guy with that overhand. And if he gets cracked by that shit, it's gonna hurt really bad.
But we've seen Fury get knocked down by Wilder and then get back up.
That's right,
Dude.
that's right. With a bigger, stronger hit.
Right.
So Undertaker style.
Yeah.
And get cracked on the way out. As he's out, getting hit with another shot. Incredible.
Cracked. So I can't see. Well, I can't say that. I don't want to say anything can happen in the ring, but I don't see Usyk with a straight left hand because he's southpaw knocking out Tyson Fury. Even if he gets a clean shot, it's going to hurt.
Might be
Fury's chin has taken some levels up a little bit,
And Tyson Fury in the clinch, bro.
That's right.
Like, just that frame. Just like
Huge.
big. And he's so crafty in the clinch.
Yeah.
Like, he knows how to, like, he's just so crafty overall. Like, he knows how to use his footwork in the right times. He knows how to clinch guys and slow the fight down. And, like, you're talking about a bigger fighter weighing on, like, sitting on top of Usyk. Like, that's going to drain you over. And he tends to do that in most of his fights.
Yeah.
Like, some of the fights are like, all right, dude, get off of him a little bit. But that's part of the game.
To clean up his mess, though.
Yeah.
Big.
Dude, he did it twice.
And then he yawned after.
Quick little 20 mil.
You want to talk about levels to a game? That's levels.
There are levels
Freak.
to it, bro.
What a freak, that guy.
All right, so official pick. I know you did this 50. You got to say something on this show, bro.
I got it.
You two guys, come on.
I'm going Fury.
I'm going Fury.
I'm going Fury. Just because of the size and the agility.
I'm going to go Fury.
You guys are idiots. I'm going to Usyk.
You guys are all
He's been in a war. Have you guys been in a war?
I don't know.
Has Fury been in a war?
And then the moment he was asked the question, he said, "I'm very feel."
Very Phil.
Wasn't even the question,
What's
dude.
your name? Very
What
Phil.
happened to the fight? I'm feel. I'm very feel.
Phil.
Yeah, I'm very feel.
All right. Before we end the show, I'm actually curious. There's another huge boxing match that everyone's going to tune into. Nate Diaz versus Jorge Masvidal.
Oh, is that still going?
That's happening.
That's happening?
I thought about a fight.
That's happening, PJ, man. That's a real boxing
Whose
fight.
MMA boxing do you think is better? Real boxing.
Come on, man. The Stockton slap was all-time history. But most of all, he's had the boxing game. He had the backyard boxing game. He's going to go all out and beat Nate Diaz. That's what my money is. I'm gonna bet my money on the Florida boy. All right?
Yeah, it's going to be Masvidal.
Masvidal?
I hoped Nate Diaz could pull it out, but Jorge Masvidal is just a little too.
I mean, you just saw their fight in the first place. That was essentially a boxing.
and just less damage over careers too, right? Like, Jorge Masvidal is taking way less damage over
Nate
Nate
gets
Diaz.
cut, dude.
Very easily.
We'll see what happens in the later rounds, though. That is I'm curious.
How many rounds is it?
I think it's like 12. I think it's 10.
Oh, they're doing a 10?
I think it's 10.
It's 10 30-second rounds.
30
Sponsored by Fight Camp.
Just start winging for 30 seconds. Go back to the corner.
It'll get you conditioned. It'll get you right. But yeah, Nate Diaz ain't got a chance in that one.
Well, that is our show. We are very thankful for you being here, sir.
Yeah,
PJ crushed it. We didn't do the Asian accent, so that's a loss for everyone. But maybe next time.
When he comes back, he's going to do it. He's going to be. He's going to
Dude,
be.
he comes
When
in.
the camera's off.
I might.
Thank goodness.
hello, everybody.
I got my iPhone on right now, too.
What are your handles?
Yo, I can't wait to show my wife this episode. I guarantee she's gonna tell me you should have done it. You should have won. I'm like, no, honey.
She's going to call you pussy, dude. She's going to be mad at you.
She very well.
Like,
could.
didn't you do it?
No, but you guys can hit me up on social media at Train with PJ.
Yo.
But you got to hit me up at joinfightcamp.com. That's the best place to train with me.
Come on.
The app, download it today.
Guys, make sure you give PJ a follow. We love you. Leave in the comment down below for your Usyk. Peace.